Hey everyone, welcome back, and this is another anime review. One I've been meaning to, and sorry for the glare on. In fact, I think it'll be fine. I was planning on reviewing this anime for a while, and I just never got around to it yet. It started the fall of last year, and it ended a few weeks ago. During like the beginning weeks of the spring season. It lasted for a total of 24 episodes, and it's called Kill La Kill. Yes. A very controversial anime. My stance on this anime is very odd, because when you talk to most people about this anime, either they absolutely love it and will defend it to hell and back, or they can't fucking stand it. And so it's basically one of those anime that generally there's really no like middle ground. It's very well split, which is why my stance on this anime is very difficult, because I'm one of the very few who don't really feel either way. In a sense, like, I'm very low in the middle, and it's very few and far between with this series for someone to be in the middle. Okay. So, yes. Anyways, Kill La Kill lasted for 24 episodes. It's anime series by Studio Trigger, which are people previously from Gainax have worked on Fooly Cooly and Evangelion and series like that, essentially. And the art style definitely reminds me of Fooly Cooly in a way. That's not a compliment, by the way. But it's definitely a lot better than Fooly Cooly, I honestly think. But it's not great, though, although there's definitely some really good things about it. The plot revolves around a main character named Ryuko Matoi, who's going to Honnoji Academy High School now in order to hopefully find out who killed her father. And she has these scissor blades that she uses as a weapon, and she feels that if she finds a person who wields the other half, then that person will be her father's killer. Alright? And that's the basic gist of it. It's a basic revenge story. And like I've always said, though, just because something is unoriginal doesn't mean it's bad. And the series isn't horrible, I don't think. It definitely has its really good points to it, of course. Clearly, the only reason they made the series was for the fan service. That's completely fucking obvious. Anyone who tries to deny that is a fucking retard, okay? Like, you can't deny that. You just can't deny that logically. Like, there's just no way. I mean, I would show you a few clips, but obviously I don't want copyright on this channel. And also, the videos would like to be taken down either because of copyright or because of porn. Because, seriously, like, I've watched some people's live reactions where they did show clips of certain episodes, and they actually blocked out certain portions of certain clips that they showed because they were afraid that it would get taken down, or that they were afraid they would get flagged as porn and taken down. But I'm not going to try not to dwell on that too much, alright? So the main villain, at least it seems that way at first, is a woman named Satsuki Chirin, who we learn later, by the way, spoilers, who we later learn is actually Ryuko's elder sister. And she's basically the ruler, in a sense, of Honnoji Academy. And she's who Ryuko believes killed her father at first, even though later on we learn that it's actually Nui Harume, a character who works for Ragyo Kiryuin, who is Ryuko's and Satsuki's mother, basically. Now, Ryuko wears this sailor uniform, as it's called in the series, known as Senketsu, who basically has a mind of his own. He has a mind of his own and a personality of his own, and a voice which apparently only those who wears him are able to hear, such as Ryuko and later on Satsuki, when Satsuki turns to Ryuko's side towards the end of the series. And Satsuki has a similar one named Jun Ketsu, although I don't think we ever really hear Jun Ketsu's voice, sadly. But she has a similar one, and Honoji Academy is organized pretty interestingly, because the student council has a total of 3 divisions, I believe, or maybe it was 5, something like that, and they each have Goku uniforms, and there's certain stars on them, and depending on the stars on them, it will determine their power. Obviously, obviously the 3 stars are the strongest, and the 1 stars are the weakest, essentially. And then there's the Honoji Academy Elite 4, who are basically the strongest of the strongest, aside from Satsuki herself, obviously, who have their own Goku uniforms, and they have the strongest Goku uniforms, basically. Okay. And there's a whole bunch of other characters in the series, like Mako, Ryuko's best friend that she makes when she enters Honoji Academy, and lots of others that I'm not really going to discuss here, because they're not really all that important. Although I will say I fucking hated Mako. Probably the worst thing to happen to comedy relief almost ever. Possibly ever in general. But anyways, though. So what did I like about this series? Before I get into what I didn't like about the series, I liked that it took a cliche plot and it did something rather unique with it, you know. And in the end, of course, Ryuko's revenge is seeked, obviously. Even though, well, she does end up killing, I believe, oh god, what's her name again? Nui? Yeah, and she does end up killing Nui, I believe, but Ragyu ends up committing suicide, basically. Okay? But Ryuko does end up achieving her revenge in the end, but the biggest thing that I liked about the series is its pacing, I think, was amazing. And it did something rather unique with the cliche plot that it had. And it was enjoyable all the way through. And not in the beginning so much, but I did think it got more enjoyable over the course of the series. But people, please, I don't really hear this as much anymore, but when the series came out, people kept saying that it saved anime. As if anime needed to be saved. Like, where did this fucking come from, really? It saved anime? Does that even make any sense? No, it doesn't. Honestly. Like, really, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I think the biggest thing was a lot of anime fans are pissed off at Free, saying it destroyed anime, even though it didn't. And they're fucking retards for saying that. And then they're saying this saved anime, even though it didn't, and they're fucking retards for saying that. Seriously. Now, I thought the animation was really fucking good, mostly, although there were still a lot of still frames. Except the animation was really fucking choppy. Like, inexcusably choppy at times. And it was really disappointing in that aspect. Like, the animation was good, but it wasn't, like, it was fluid. But it was so fucking choppy. And it's something I have to complain about, because that is a legitimate flaw. Okay? So the animation was definitely a mixed bag. It was really good, but it was choppy. The music was amazing. Especially that opening. That first opening, at least. I really liked both the openings and both the endings, but that first opening was amazing. Not to mention song, I forget what the song in there is whenever Ryuko releases her Senketsu, or uses her Senketsu. I've been watching too much Bleach. I'm constantly on releases. Uses Senketsu, okay? I know the beginning lyrics are "Don't Lose Your Way," but I'm almost positive that's not actually the name of the song. That's an amazing song as well. So really, I have no complaints on the music in this series at all. I think all the music in the series is amazing. Alright. Really, I don't think there's anything else for me to talk about in the series. I mean, the art I thought was really good too. Again, it looks like Fooly Cooly, which isn't much of a compliment, although I did like Fooly Cooly's art, though, I do have to admit. And this art's really fucking good as well. So yeah, I really don't think there's anything else for me to talk about in the series. Like, the biggest thing that I don't like about it, though, was there was way too much fan service, like, not only that, but the choppy animation, as I already previously stated, was a huge issue. It was almost painful to look at times. And Ryuko herself had, I'm not going to complain she had a generic personality, even though she did, but she didn't really get a whole lot of development, though. She pretty much just stays exactly the same over the course of the series, for the most part, which was also really disappointing. Okay, but I think I'm pretty much going to wrap up this review here. I do think it's worth a watch, at least a little bit, but I don't think it's nearly as amazing as most people say it is. Not by a long shot. There's so many things that are better to watch than this, but I do think it's worth a watch if you're curious. Like, I do think it's a good series. It's just not flawless like so many people seem to think it is. Alright. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this review, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.